Hey guys, welcome back to Age of Geek Podcast. Oh god, it's Chris. I know I look a little worse for wear, but the helmet gets a little warm. I'm back today with another Star Wars video. I'm gonna put it like this. I'm back today with another Star Wars video. It's gonna be a little bit more of a lore dump, not lore dump, but lore heavy episode. The last one was more about the movies and shows, stuff you've probably seen easily. Well, this one's gonna be a little bit more in depth into the Star Wars universe. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite, actually, probably my absolute favorite game, and one of my absolute favorite characters. Besides, at least he's canon though. This character's not even canon because he's just too powerful. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, I'm back again this week with Nate. Nate, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yep. It has been an interesting week. I know last week I went to go see Revenge of the Sith, which is still my favorite movie ever. And having to explain that to my father yesterday was pretty fun. I know you watched it recently too.
I did. I got my girlfriend to watch it for the first time. Right?
First!
Listen, all right? Listen, all right? So, she's seen the first two, right? She's seen the first two, but like when she was a child.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Yeah, no, I get that.
So, and she never got into it, but now I'm getting her into Star Wars. So, like,
That's
after
good.
watching that, she's kind of interested to rewatch the others, the originals, and probably the Clone Wars.
Okay, good. I was gonna say, if you said the sequels, just don't show her that. That's not needed.
I mean, I could show her.
Force Awakens was the only Force Awakens was the only kind of good one. Like it was actually enjoyable.
Yep.
And then it just got. Somehow, Last Jedi is still the worst one out of all three. Rise of Skywalker was bad, but Last Jedi was still the worst. But no, we're not going to talk about that today.
I could put them on equally terms. But anyways.
That is, I know. We're not going to...
We're talking about Star Killer today.
Yes, because I just restarted... I just started replaying for like the upteenth time The Force Unleashed, which I now have it on PC. Because I used to have it on the Wii, which I think is actually the better way to play it. Because, you had the Wii controllers, and the game just kind of looked better, felt better, played better. But I don't have a Wii anymore, so PC it is. But it is still.
I also played it
fun.
On the Wii, right? I played it on the Wii, but my console for it was in the PSP.
I never had one.
Right. That's what I played it on, right?
Yeah.
I still have it. Unfortunately, my PSP has game-ending stick drift. So you can't even walk anymore. So I can't play it. Yeah, it's pretty sad. But I never realized, right, between the different versions of the game, right?
Because the PC is basically the Xbox version.
Yeah.
It even uses the Xbox controller.
The game.
Yeah.
There's when you're Darth Vader, you either have clone troopers or stormtroopers.
Yeah,
I had clone troopers.
I did too with the Wii, and it was like when I was playing it the other day, I was like, "Hey, there's stormtroopers. Why are there stormtroopers? Like this must be the 501st. Like that's the ones who were with him throughout this." Oh, that was a voice break. That was the ones who were with him throughout this entire like first part of the game was the 501st. Yep. This is right after Episode 3. They still had clone troopers at that point. But no, they had stormtroopers, which I think is worse. I mean, it is worse because everyone knows that clones are better in every single one.
Aspect.
Every single aspect. I mean,
except numbers, I guess.
I mean, how many clones did they have ready in Episode 2? A few billion or something like that?
Million,
something like that. Yeah,
but
just spread across the entire galaxy.
Were cheaper.
Yeah, no,
so they could have more of them.
But we know who's a better shot because at least they were cloned after, an elite bounty hunter who was very good at shooting. While the stormtroopers...
there's also the thing, right, that their armor, right? The stormtroopers' armors were just worse. It's hard to see out of it. Yeah. As they've mentioned in
Rebels.
Episode 4... and in Rebels.
Rex was like, I can't see out of these things.
I can't see anything. Throws helmet.
Exactly. And starts instantly taking better shots. Yeah, no. But no, I've been replaying Oh, my brain died. Hold on. I've been replaying The Force Unleashed. Thank you. And it is still so much fun. I wish I had, the Wii controller still, because it's always fun doing the actual lightsaber moves. And then being able to, like, especially, grab somebody and choke hold them and kill them like that. Oh, that was so much fun. But no, it is the graphics look like a 2011 game, so it is what it is. But if they ever remastered the game, I would be happy. I would pay however much they want for it, unless it's more than 100. Then no. But actually, if it's more than like 60, then probably no. But still, it is my absolute favorite game.
We 100% $70,
and I'd still pay it every dime, every dollar. But no, I mean, when I was younger, like 30 years ago, I used to have the Wii. Shut up. I used to have the Wii U, and I had like the gamepad part. I would use that as the second screen, lean it up on the ground on the floor, put a pillow down on the floor to keep my elbow from hurting. Take the controllers, and I would just play through the story just nonstop. Of course, I used the 3 cheats, that everyone knows: extra lightsaber damage, invincible, and unlimited force powers. And
unlimited force powers. That was the best.
Because there were some playthroughs where I'd be like, I'm just gonna do nothing but like, I would be like, okay, this one I'm gonna be more like a Jedi, so it's more just picking up and throwing and full nothing but lightsaber. And then some were like, I'm going straight nothing but force powers until it forces me to use my lightsaber. It is nothing but force powers. I went through so many of the missions just using the force lightning because it was just overpowered and fun. Rancors, I just I'd be just force lightning the crap out of them, just standing there or dodging, because even if you're invincible, you can still get knocked down. But it was
force
so much
lightning fun. And force repulse were my favorite.
Yes. Go-to. And the one where you like curl up in a ball midair and then
that's force repulse.
Okay, it's been a minute. Give me a second. But no, God, I love that game. It is so much fun.
It's casual over here.
Shut up, bro. It's been years. It has been years.
Yeah, you haven't unlocked it yet, have you?
No, I just finished the first mission. Like I'm on I think it's Raxus Prime, where you fight the little Jedi with all the like metal arms. I hate him. I like playing regular. He's such annoying to fight. What are you saying?
Garbage Planet.
The Garbage Planet. Yes, I hated.
Yes, Garbage Planet.
I hated fighting that little dude with all the spider legs. I hated it. It was such an annoying fight playing regular. And that's what I'm doing with this game, because I'm streaming me playing it. And I'm going through the first playthrough since it's been 24, like 8 years, 7 years, something like that since I've played it. It's been a very, very long time. I'm going through the first playthrough the way it's supposed to be played. And then I'm going to play with cheats for however many times I want to, because it's more fun that way. I might go through, one playthrough with looking like one specific character and all the cheats that I get. I might just go through playing as the Emperor. I might go through the entire thing playing as, I don't know, Shak Ti or Plo Koon. And just because, Plo Koon had...
with Shak Ti.
Shut up. Because I don't know if you saw me make those faces. I don't know if you were watching whenever I was looking through the costumes. There was a couple of them that
I actually did not.
You completely missed it because I was looking through some of the costumes.
Your stream crashed, and then I never got told it came back.
You could have looked. It popped up on my phone that I was, streaming again. Oh, it showed mobile dashboard, but whatever. But still, no, dashboard. I absolutely love that game. Starkiller is probably, like, out of the non-canon character, because you know me, I love overpowered characters. I really do. And he has such a good story arc, going from being the like chosen apprentice by Darth Vader, raises a Sith, gets the. I think honestly is a cool idea of the secret Sith apprentice of Darth Vader gets all the rebels to form the Rebel Alliance, and then Darth Vader shows up to try to kill them all. Supposedly kills him, and then he, tries to fight back against Darth Vader and becomes kind of a good guy again. And it's so good. Yeah, it's a good guy that uses Force lightning on a lot of people. But hey, that's what we like.
Unfortunately, there was, in my opinion, a lot of miss potential for the second game.
Yeah,
it was so short and like
I watched
It was. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. The gameplay was fun.
Yeah, no, so fun. I remember playing through the second game a couple times. I just didn't.
Plus 2 lightsabers, like.
Yeah, no, that was nice. But I didn't have I couldn't find any good cheats for. I'm not gonna say that I didn't play the game as much because I didn't have any good cheats, but I didn't play the game as much because I couldn't find any good cheats. But it was fun. But the first one was just such a banger for me. Such a good story. Like a lot of the fights, like on Felucia, were kind of fun. It's been so long, I forgot some of the others. Fighting Darth Vader was always fun. Fighting the Emperor was fun. I think we fought the Emperor. Didn't we fight the Emperor at the end?
First game.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, in the first game, it's a choice, right? You can either
you can
fight Vader, right? Here it is. You fight Vader, right, and you defeat him, and then you have a choice to fight him again, or the Emperor. Darth Vader would be the dark side choice because it would be for revenge.
Oh dear.
And the Emperor would kill everyone.
Right.
But if you did the dark side choice and killed Vader, then you'd be like, "Oh, you're my apprentice now."
Yeah,
so find a better one.
Yeah, the Emperor was always. I mean, I'm pretty sure the Emperor was always going to kill even Vader after episode 6, but no,
oh yeah,
I think he was trying to get Luke to be his apprentice. And he was going to kill Vader. It's like how he did with Anakin and Dooku.
Well, yeah, because the thing was, right? He's replacing when they're weak, right? So Vader, right? Vader was such a disappointment to him, right? Mm-hmm. He was always a disappointment to him because he was in the suit, right? He lost to Obi-Wan.
Even though he made the suit purposefully bad.
Yeah, he made the suit purposefully bad and weak to lightning. Mm-hmm. So he could always
like he had that planned out. Little bzzz.
Yeah. But he was so sad because when he had to put him in the suit, he lost all his potential to be way better.
It was like 60% of his Force potential was gone, but he was still extremely strong in the Force.
Insanely so.
Still insanely strong. Exactly. Scary. Which is why a lot of people like me are like, okay, so what would have happened if he hadn't gone to the suit? And the first thought is what fans call Nightfall Vader, which is if he never got burnt and cut up. It's just Anakin. Anakin with
Force lightning.
Oh God. Sorry, somebody's texting me. Yeah, no, the Force lightning would have been cool. Also, okay, Chris, you're gonna have to. I'm getting distracted and I've lost my train of thought. Give me a second. Nightfall Vader.
Stop getting distracted. How dare you?
I'm trying not to, but.
Okay, well, while you're trying to remember, basically, out of all the Star Wars games, right? Mm-hmm. Some of my favorite are when you get to choose, be good, be bad type thing.
Yes.
Right? So like KOTOR, right? That's notoriously good for having good side, dark side, you choose type thing, right? Another one
on dark side
is, another one, not as good as KOTOR. It's a Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, right?
Yeah.
You can do a dark side ending, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you choose to do a thing in the story, right?
Yeah.
And when you level up, right, between your missions, you get to choose which force power to unlock or level up.
Okay.
Right? If you have more dark side versus light side, right, then your instructor will be like, I sense a I sense a struggle within you right now.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be careful, you know. Or like the skill is not inherently dark; it's how you use it.
Right. More like this. That's closer to how I know George Lucas says that, you know, there's no using the dark side without getting tempted by it. I mean, like, you can't really use the dark side without being tempted by it, and then eventually falling to it, and then you're just a bad guy. I've always liked the idea more that the Force it's not a tool, since they call it the living Force, but it's just there, right? And it's how each individual person uses it that makes them either good or evil. So, which brings about gray Jedi instead of, because there was dark Jedi, which eventually became the Sith back way at the beginning of like the Star Wars universe. Now, some famous gray Jedi, or some who were more like a gray Jedi, would be someone like Qui-Gon Jinn, right? Who didn't exactly. It's not that he didn't follow the Jedi Order. It's just he didn't think it was the best.
He didn't follow council.
Right. He didn't really trust the council. He could see ulterior motives. Like he was going to teach Anakin a better way to trust the Force. I mean, from the beginning, he was calling it the living Force, so he already was treating the Force a different way than than the other Jedi were, even Yoda. I mean, he was the one who taught Yoda how to become a Force ghost. Yoda's been around for 900 years.
Yep.
So he was already way more in tune with the Force than literally every other Jedi that was there. And I think he would have done a better job, and we wouldn't have had Vader, because he would have taught that, it's not a bad thing to have attachments. It's when you let those attachments lead you to do bad things.
It would have been, he would have dealt with the whole Tusken Raider situation way better, right?
Probably would have. Here's the thing. Anakin would have probably gone to him instead of Yoda about those visions about his mother and he probably would have gone with him and his wife, eventually. But I'm saying, like, with his mother, he would have gone with him back to Tatooine, Tusken Raiders, and then maybe be able to calm Anakin down enough to where, yes, maybe they take out a couple of them in a fight, but not every single one. Gets his mother back. Maybe he's able to heal her, but when she dies, able to console him and tell him, do not worry. She is now part of the living Force. When it's your time to pass on, you will see her again. Something like that, right?
I think
instead of Anakin goes by himself, sees that she's dead, and now he has nothing with, like, except for Padme. He's back to having, like, nothing. His mom is gone. His only connection to the rest of his life is gone, and that's a final thing.
So I think, right, when he first had those visions and would have told Qui-Gon about it, I think immediately Qui-Gon would have just taken him to where he needed to go, back to Tatooine, and probably could have easily saved her, because it wouldn't have been so, like, of a prolonged period of time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it wouldn't have taken as long, especially going to talk to Yoda and then having to think about it and then going after. Didn't he have one more, like, really bad nightmare and then just went? I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he would have done better. Another, not gray Jedi, but kind of famous Jedi who used the dark side a little bit was, I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Quinlan Vos. I think he was in a few episodes of Clone Wars. And he also had this really good book, from what I remember. It's been over 10 years since I read it. I know that. And I don't remember the name of it, but Quinlan Vos is, he had, like, dark brown skin. He almost had, like, braided hair. He had, like, one or two little horns in his head. He had the yellow stripe going across his face.
Yeah.
Ringing bells. That. He was like a Jedi hunter. Not that he hunted Jedi, that he was a Jedi who, like, hunted. He was very good at hunting, and he used a couple dark side type abilities that allowed him to hunt better. And I don't remember exactly what they were, because I remember reading about it in that book, but he like was able to use the dark side just a little bit without falling to it, right? It was like it only tempted him even a tiny bit, but he was able to like put up enough of a wall that he could touch the dark side and not completely fall to it, which is why I am more on the living force, and it's how you use it depends on how you maybe the dark side of the force isn't completely evil. It just can, depending on how you use it, can lead to evil, right? If there's a light side, there's a dark side. But also in that book, which you will in that new show, Star Wars Tales of the Underworld, you're gonna see in the first scene, Quinlan Voss again. He and Asajj Ventress were in that book, and they were in love, which is crazy because it's Asajj Ventress.
I mean, she was once a Jedi.
He
being trained to be a Jedi.
Was she?
Yes.
I thought she was
No,
okay.
She had a Jedi Master. He was murderized. And that's she used to have hair.
She looks better with hair. Does. Although I've seen a TikTok of her when during Clone Wars when she's bald, and a clip of Kai Cenat seeing a bald lady grabbing her by the head and goes, "Michael Jordan." And every time I see her bald head, that's exactly what I think of every time. Michael Jordan. But no, there's some fairly famous gray Jedi, Quinlan Voss, grayish Jedi, Quinlan Voss, Qui-Gon Jinn, and then there's others like the Bendu from Rebels, who was not a Jedi, not a Sith, not exactly
being that new.
He was a manifestation, living being of part of the Force. He was the middle. We have gone so far off of video games, but bringing all of that back to that's why I love Starkiller, because he was raised as a Sith. He was raised as kind of assassin spy type, and then when he was betrayed, he had people that actually cared for him that brought him back more towards the light side. He still uses pretty sure he still uses dark side abilities, but for good. Time. I think that's canon. Yeah, unless we just that's just part of the games that they left it in. But he used those abilities and did it for good, and eventually he fought Darth Vader. The canon ending is that he died, if I remember correct. Yeah, because the second game started off with a clone. We don't know, but no, I love that game. And then you said yours was Battlefront. Battlefront 2.
The original Battlefront 2.
Battlefront.
Right.
I've never played the original Battlefront 2.
That makes me so
I think I played it 5 minutes at your house. I didn't have games like that back then. I literally grew up playing almost nothing but Lego games.
Well, here's the thing, right? So,
which meant Lego Star Wars.
The original Battlefront 2, you can get on modern consoles now because they put the first two in basically like a bundle thing. The complete collection.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Now, a lot of people hate it, right? They say it's not good. But when it goes on sale, right, for cheap, I'm going to get it. So just so I don't have to plug up my Xbox just to play Battlefront. Right?
That makes sense. Plus, playing on a PS5 is fun.
Plus, it has multiplayer. So.
Yeah. Plus, it has multiplayer. Although,
and the 501st Journals.
We're able to find.
Wait, have you never seen the 501st Journals?
Heard of that.
My god!
Am I gonna have to look that up later and watch
before the Clone Wars series, right? Before the chips and all that, the 501st Journal, right? The marching on the temple. That mission was.
I'll have to find it on YouTube and watch it at some point.
At the Jedi Temple, killing all the Jedi.
Oh. Yeah, emotionally hard or just actually hard?
Both.
Gotcha. I saw a thing that said that one of the reasons why, the main reason why Anakin, or at that time Vader, took the 501st into the Jedi Temple wasn't just because they were loyal to him, but also because they were like trained to fight. They had experience fighting Jedi and Sith before, so they knew how to react to people who use lightsabers and the Force. So that's just a little cool tidbit. I also love the 501st. If you can't tell, Captain Rex is my favorite clone, except for I don't know. There was a bunch of other good ones, but Captain Rex is always my favorite, which is weird because usually the characters that I like the most are ones that are that I can relate to. Except for maybe
you can't relate to the bald guy who's good with guns.
I'm not very good with guns, and I'm not bald yet, so I know what you're trying to say.
What's the voice actor's name that the actor that did the clones? Not D. Bradley Baker, the original for the movies.
Oh no. Hey, okay, so if you're seeing me type, that's at it. Helmet go
you're
down
looking up
now.
information.
I'm looking up information.
Well, so. long story short,
you keep talking.
He did the voiceovers for the 501st Journal, right, in the game. So it was so good.
Name.
It'd be at this point it'd be easier to look up.
Tamura Morrison. Tamura. Yeah. That's exactly. I looked up the show. Tamura Morrison. Yes.
Yep.
Because that's what the voice was in the movies. Yeah.
That's because he's the clones.
I don't know. Like I understand that he was he was Jango Fett. He was also Boba Fett. Well, not originally Boba Fett, but he was Jango Fett, and now he's Boba Fett. But because he was Jango Fett, he was also the voice and the face of every clone.
Yep.
But to me, the voice actor who did the clones in Clone Wars is more iconic because I recognize that voice more. Because I saw it more. I love Clone Wars. It's like one of the best shows ever. And which is why, and this is why I'm glad they brought. What was it? It was Rex. It was Wolf. And I forget the name of the last clone, the like kind of psycho clone. Not psycho, but Gregor. Slightly more crazy. Gregor. And Rebels. I love those three. God, the scene with when the Loth Wolves showed up and Gregor's like, "Hey Wolf, you got your pack back." And he's like, "They fight just like the boys did." That hurts every time. I know it's supposed to be like, "Hey, that's cool." It's just like, man, he's having to go through flashbacks in his head of all the guys he's had lost. That's just sad. You sad now? I'm sad now.
A little bit.
A little bit. That's okay. All right, guys. That'll be it for this week's video. I really hope you like it because Star Wars is one of my absolute favorite fandoms. I think it's one of the ones I grew up on the most. I know Nate also loves Star Wars. Not as much as me, but that's okay.
Lies.
Can't. No. It's okay. It's okay.
I saw episode 3 in theaters when it first came out.
Just because you're older than me doesn't mean anything. I couldn't go watch it because reasons. Instead, I watched it on completely legal ways on a disc at my house for 2 weeks. I'm not going to... shut up. But that's it for this week's video. Next week, we're going to be going a bit more into older Star Wars games that I'm going to be playing because I never got to play them, like Star Wars Republic Commandos, which I tried some the other night, and it was very fun. Bounty Hunter, which does look cool. And I might try to get the old... You said Battlefront 2 is the better one of the old ones?
So they're
in
a collection now. Yeah, they're in a collection now.
Yeah. So I'll probably just get both, but I guess I would have to start with Battlefront 1. I guess. So I'll probably try Battlefront 1 if I'm able to get it, if I have enough money, which is hard these days. But yes, I'm going to try to get Battlefront and Battlefront 2, and I'm going to play those because I really do like the Battlefront games that came out recently, especially Battlefront 2. The story was very good. But next week's video is going to be all about more Star Wars games. Until then, see you next time.